Remnant 2 has had probably by far the best launch week that you could possibly even ask for, right? This game has just been massively fire. Now we finally receive our very first patch update, and from what I'm seeing, this thing is going to be massive. So let's hop on over to Remnant's official website and let's check out to see what's actually going to be coming with these patch notes. So patch notes, this is for August 4th, 2023. The performance of crashes, so they have fixed initial optimizations to improve overall performance, updates to improve hitching and potential crashes, fix multiple reported crash bugs, and high detail shadows have been moved to a separate option. Now when it comes to those performance issues, I probably have not experienced those myself, but let me know if you guys have. But let's look at some of the quality of life features that they have added. So they said, while we still haven't fighted quite a few things they are working on regarding traits and long-term grinding for those who wish to actually do so. They wanted to make a few changes in this patch to ensure players had more freedom to experiment. So let's see. So they increased the trait cap up to a +5. That's cool. I like that. Tomes of Knowledge now grants scrap and experience when the player has reached trait cap. Orbs of Undoing now has unlimited uses. Players can sell any extras for scrap. They removed the trait requirement for equipping a second archetype. Players may now slot their second archetype as soon as they obtain or convert another engram at Wallace. Okay. I haven't received another archetype yet, but I definitely can't wait. I'm going to try to do it on live stream. Remove the scrap cost for converting a mysterious item into an engram. Lower the luminite cost for converting a mysterious item into an engram. So you went from scrap costs to mysterious item 1,000 to 0, and then the luminite cost from 10 to 5. Slightly increased scrap gain from breakables, increased scrap gain from regular and rare chests, and an increased scrap gain from killing aberrations while reduced the cost of blood rot. So now let's get into the archetypes, right? The Explorer archetype increased the duration of Explorer scavenger buff per pickup from 15 to 20 seconds, increased the duration of Explorer's Gold Digger buff from 15 to 20 seconds, and increased the healing amount of Gold Digger healing fountain from 1.5 to 2.0 HP per second. So a quick dev note, they said they wanted to make sure explorers could maintain scavengers long between fights and give them more freedom while Gold Digger fountains were active, while increasing the durations by 5 seconds each and boosted the healing fountain to be more enticing. Archon archetypes also increased Archon Havocs from Form Lightning Hands damage from 28 to 56, Archon Havoc Form Blink damage to 100 to 150, while reducing the Havoc Form cooldown from 100 to 20 seconds to 96. So, oh my god, so everybody's been getting buffs. Like, I'm not seeing too many nerfs going on here. They did say, while in response to the bug fix that allowed the Havoc Form Lightning Hands to deal ridiculous damage, they made overall adjustments to compensate. The Challenger archetype adjusted the damage falloff for Challengers close quarters combat. At maximum range, Challengers will always maintain a 10% damage bonus to all damage. While the Handler also gets increased Handler's Pack Hunter range from 25 meters to 40 meters, while increasing the base max health of Handler's very good boy companion. The Summoner archetype increases the base max health of Summoner's Hollow and Flyer variants, while the weapons, which you switch to Aphelion scaling to boss special damage scaling instead of standard, while increasing the fire damage for Shatterstar for the Savior mod, and as well as reducing the fire rate on Nightfall and Standard and Dreadwalker fire modes. Now, another quick dev note here. Nightfall was dealing far more damage than other weapons in both modes, almost 20% more with Dreadwalker active compared to other guns with their mod active. When considering damage and the mod ability, harder to hit, Life Siphon, and fire rate, which, oh my god, I like Life Siphon a lot. It was pushing Nightfall too far above every of their long gun and now sits closer in the line with other high damage weapons, while reducing the AoE burst damage of Enigma's Overload application from 40 to 30, reduced the tether damage of Enigma primary fire from 75 to 65%, while reducing the magazine capacity of Enigma from 30 to 25, and increasing the total reserve capacity of Enigma from 120 to 125. Dev note, Enigma was performing too far above our goal for AoE clear, so a few adjustments were made. There is still an issue with ignoring armor, which will be addressed in the future. However, when that happens, they will reevaluate the numbers. So on the final last stretch overall regarding the rest of this. So enemies reduce damage on Night Reaver's grab attack, so the one on lunge, while adjusted the hitbox of Magister's delayed tongue attack better to match the visuals. Multiplayer reduce incoming damage in multiplayer from 25% per additional player to 15% per player. Thank God, bro. I was playing with my buddy and all of a sudden I was getting overly smacked around and it scaled to his level too, so I made it even worse. So some progression rewards, they fix multiple reported crash bugs and instability issues. Of course, you know, your basic progression blocker fixed an issue that prevented players from completing the tutorial if a crash happened when interacting with forward. Progression blockers, so you get 5 progression blockers. Basically, they fix the infinite load screen issue when somebody skips the tutorial. Fix the plasma cutter preventing the final boss from transitioning to a second phase. Fixed how Retha's boss fight lockout if game was exited during cutscene dialogue. And as well as fix the Astropath boss fight failing to start if the game was exited during cutscenes. And address the issue with trait points going negative. Negative trait points have been flipped to positives. Will fix issues with the second archetype being locked out. And then they address the players without receiving achievements in multiplayer games. This would not retroactively reward ones that should have been previously unlocked. In future patches, we will look into attempting to retroactively award as many as we can. However, some will likely not be able to award this way. It will need to be reacquired. Players who completed Oracle's Quilt will now receive half quit award as a full quit reward if they had not previously received it. Fixed issues where scripted deaths from the Bone Harvester, Empress Guards, and Rare Prince causes actual deaths and ended hardcore runs. That is tragic. Ain't no way, bro. I haven't experienced that, but that's fucked. If you have a scripted death and it's literally an actual death, like, bro. So fix also an issue with weapons not unlocking at the hardcore playthrough. Unfortunately, hardcore awards would not be retroactively awarded for previous completions of hardcore mode. Unfortunately, difficulty based rewards not be retroactively awarded for previous completions of the game. And players who listen to Mud2's stories but did not receive all the rewards can visit Mud2 to receive their awards. Players who did not receive the Iron Cylinder, which is the gunslinger's Ingram, from listening to all his stories will not find it in his store. They fixed a lot of issues regarding preventing explored arcade armor from appearing on the vendor. Players need to first convert the appropriate mysterious item into the ground at Wally's. Fixed the issue preventing Mud2's elixir from appearing in his inventory after completing the game. Players who need to first unlock their explorer at Wallace. Fixed issues where Clementine will stand in random locations in War 13 after the cutscene in Blackened Citadel. The archetypes have received another fix as well as the gears, items, and the enemies. So like I said, this is a pretty massive, like, this is a massive, like, update. So a lot of things have been fixed. So with the archetypes, the Archons, Havoc, Form Lightning Hands, Cast Speed can now promptly ramp up the Lightning Hand without going infinite. While as well as fixing 2 issues with the Hunter's Focus in the Shroud while granting multiplying damage bonus and granting a proper weak spot damage bonus. The fixing issue with the Gunslinger's Bullet Storm sound not terminating while allowing male engineers to ignore falling in transition when overclocking. So some of the gears and items have been fixed as well. So they fixed the visual effects alignment for Nebula and Hellfire primary fire. Fixed an issue preventing Plasma Cutter from dealing the correct damage type to certain enemies. Allowing the Dreamcatcher to trigger Dreamwave before it's properly earned. Fixed the issue causing the Shield Breaker Mutator to not grant the correct amount of shield. Nightfall mod visual effects terminate correctly now, while fixing Anesthesia's Inspiration causing infinite damage stacking on summoners minions, while also fixing an issue with that allow the Crystal Heart from stacking from itself, the Ring of Flawed Beauty not granting a proper weak spot damage bonus, also preventing God Splitter from triggering. Was this supposed to happen? Achievement. Some of the enemies got also fixed as well, so the Primogenitor health bar incorrectly tracking causing players to become stuck. The Root Knight's Puddle projectile dealing damage on hit. Night Weaver projectiles homing in on players incorrectly. And the Aberration in Tower of the Unseen now responds after players dies and re-enters the Aberration room area. The Blocked Ruin, the Labyrinth of Enemy sound effects. The players can defeat Gwyndu the Unburnt without taking any damage by standing on the stairs under the wooden bridge. The Killing the Many Faces, which is the world boss Golem and the Corruptor, when it's jumping between platforms will cause it to fall off to the Great Bowl. Some small fixes, so miscellaneous, nothing too crazy. You fix multiple locations on the final level where players could get out of bounds of the level. Fix issue with players not receiving fall damage by throwing consumables or melee weapons in throwing position. Collision issues causing players to get trapped along some edges in Morrow's Sanatorium. Fix an issue when using certain melee weapons the character's face distorted. Fixed issues where players could be locked out of Postulant's Parliament application was closed after playing the board game. Players were trapped when attempting to vault through a wall in Cotton's Kiln. Players were unable to open the door to Sentinel's Keep when exiting game while inputting a secret key, Seeker's Key in the Rood. Players can now skip the siege fight in Tiller's Rest. Falling to the gap in a boat in the wall at Tiller's Rest has been fixed. Floating doors in Cathedral of Omens. The Great Hall that allow repeated experience rewards during Feast Masters has been fixed. Multiple scenarios that allow players to transition through walls using interactives. And players that get stuck in the throw animation in certain situations. And finally, but not least, they have fixed the kill volume height in the Custodian Eye Arena. Oh my god, thank god. I already beat the Custodian, but my god, that was irritating. But what do you guys think about this big, massive patch of Remnant 2? The very first patch of the game since it released, and it's a pretty massive one, definitely with a lot of different fixes. But I don't know what you guys think about it. Were you guys affected by any of these particular things that played out in the game? Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know how you are liking Remnant 2. I'm loving it. Right after this video is uploaded, I will be live streaming right after. So if you guys want to check it out, I'll be live streaming live on YouTube. Keep track of that. Probably not even 30 minutes or an hour after this video is live. If you guys want to talk a little bit more about this stuff, hop in my Discord link below. We could chat it there. But it's always been your host, Chaos DTV, here at Chaotic Inc., signing out. Peace.
I make a manifest. I don't sleep, that's so weak, don't plan to rest. I'm from a hood where you die if you don't pack a vest. No culinary degrees, but whipping crack the best. Chefing, hard times taught lessons. Praying every night to pull up in park Benzes. What's my home is what you call trenches. You wouldn't last a day seeing life through all lenses. It's all tension, no sun and rain and plenty. Full-time job, still can never make a penny.